Over spring break, my friends and I went to Sacramento for the day, which is only 20 minutes or so outside of our hometown. And we walked around Old Sac, we ate some extremely overpriced Mexican food, and we walked around the park surrounding the state capitol. Only hours later, after going home, I was watching the news, and I saw masses of protesters surrounding the park I had been at only hours earlier. These protesters were protesting the death of Stephon Clark, a 22-year-old black man who was shot and killed by 2 Sacramento police officers. This event was highly broadcast at home and is an event that I've kept tabs on since it's not very often something super big happens in Sacramento. With that, I'm going to go over a brief timeline of events that have happened since the death of Stephon Clark on March 18th. On the night of March 18th, 2 police officers received reports of cars being broken into and were alerted of Clark's location, who was identified as the person breaking into cars and were also told he was armed with only a crowbar. Clark entered his grandmother's backyard where he was spotted by the police officers, and they said, "Show me your hands, stop, stop." Clark continued to run, the officers followed him, and ultimately shot at him 20 times as they believed he had a gun on him. Upon checking Clark's body seconds after, they found that he was dead with only a cell phone on his body. These officers were put on paid leave the following day. This event sparked controversy that resulted in mass protests and a further investigation into police misconduct. These protests got rapidly more aggressive. One of them shut down a freeway, and on another instance, they stopped Kings fans from entering a game by blocking off an entire entrance to the Golden One Center. These protests have been controversial due to minor scuffles, vandalism, and tense standoffs with police, although they have been primarily nonviolent. On March 30th, the findings from a private autopsy done of Stephon's body found that he was shot 8 times, 7 out of the 8 of which were in his back, contradicting the officer's original story that he had been running towards them when they fired at him. Most recently, just last week, the officers that shot Clark returned to work, although they are not on active patrol currently. Although this is only a brief overview of the events that have happened, this is still a story. There's still an ongoing investigation and also protests still happening in Sacramento. This shooting is one that has larger implications since the Black Lives Matter movement has gained popularity over the last few years and has also raised questions about police violence. Overall, this story is one that is still unfolding and is one that I will definitely be keeping tabs on.